Hi everyone, welcome back to Through Alchemy. So today's reading is going to be all about what secret is ready to be revealed to you. This is going to be a dive into your Akashic records. This is the universal knowledge where everything is stored. So we're going to find out according to which pile you choose, what message wants to make itself known or what information can help you in your journey moving forward. Okay, so we have three piles from the left to right. The first pile is beautiful ocean jasper. The second pile is the gorgeous phosphosiderite. And the third pile is the epitome of self-love, rose quartz. Pause if you need a little longer, pick the one which calls your name the most. Now I'm gonna begin with pile number 1. Hello pile number 1, if you chose the ocean jasper, this is going to be your reading. So I am going to flip a card, see what message wants to make itself known. I am seeing the color green, red, vibrant. Oh, I'm seeing all colors. I am getting the reference of Kundalini awakening for you. This is something that you have already gone through, is what I am picking up. You are aware of these things. We have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. There's a lot of energy in your pile. I had to really concentrate before I started off your reading because I'm already getting goosebumps. There's something very strong about what wants to make itself known to you. I think it's about how to optimize or handle the energy upsurge you're going through. This could be about the fact that I feel like for a few of you this has happened because you have met your twin flame. Uh, you've had some sort of sexual experience either with a person that has helped you activate that Kundalini energy, or it could be having met, I don't know, have you been into various practices or retreats, or you have always been inclined towards the concept of twin flames, Shiv Shakti, yin and yang. But I am getting more of you being acquainted with Shiv Shakti as being one of the most prominent or oldest. So just the representation of twin flames, Shiv Shakti. So you might want to read about that. I am picking up that there's something about either you have a twin flame or you're aware of it, or that is an energy. But I think I was about to say if that is an energy, the 5D leading you, but I think that this reading would apply more for people who have a twin flame. You've met that person in reality, or you are about to. But I feel for majority of you, this could be that you're about to meet someone like that, or you're going to go through another awakening. So I was reading this book. Today's book is the Yoga of Power. This is about tantric Shakti and divine feminine energy in all its senses, whether to be perceived or labeled by the human mind as to be destructive or unreliable. It's often just the feminine energy is not really appreciated or understood as much because we don't know what lies, and I include that. I include myself in that statement because I am also, as a human, I am wired to be scared of the unseen, and a lot of times we control things because we don't find surety. Rather, our battles as well. I'm picking up that our battles are also fought more with the unseen rather than the seen. Right? We don't know. So this is about spiritual strength, but also the recognition of the divine feminine energy or the Shakti energy within us. Shakti translates as power. Shakti is a Hindi word, and this translates as power. So, what I am picking up for you is the root chakra. Muladhara chakra, which is where the Kundalini energy is stored inside. And this is where, it's like a coiled, or the term Kundalini is like a coiled ini. Like power, Kundalini is like a dormant, coiled energy at the base of your spine, which is the Muladhara, which is where your root chakra is, right? So I'm picking up on heavy Saturn energy as well over here. At this point, I think that a lot of your time might be going into working with your senses. Your body is really, really picking up on things. I don't know if you've been through abuse in your life, if there has been domestic abuse, or mental tormentation, or just emotional abuse. There's something where you had to disconnect with your body as a child, from your body as a child. And I think that this stage of your life is where your body, your energetic body, is merging in. Your metaphysical self is merging in with the physical self, because now you're really feeling the flow of energy coming through. So this was more of a spiritual process that started. Everything that starts first, it manifests spiritual, and then it turns into physical formation. So I'm seeing that uh I really feel that you have had because in this book as well, there's two methods that have been described to awaken the Kundalini energy. Uh, One of them is, the fact that it is stored at the root chakra, Muladhara, and it is related with, where is that? With the movement of what we call breath work, basically. And the second is given the Shaktik lunar character, which is the sexual intercourse between a man and a woman. Shiva Shakti, who represents Shiva Shakti. So I wonder if this has happened because of some sort of a meditative state for you, or this has happened because you have had some sort of supernatural experience being with another person. That's what I am picking up over here. Um, and considering that if it is not like a physical intercourse, it is some sort of energetic contact, where in twin flames, when you meet the person, you don't realize, but the heart palpitations start increasing, like it's at a rapid rate. And I honestly got a little interrupted while talking about that, which is when spirit completely changed my train of thought, where we came to understanding a general view of manifestation. Now, I think when we were talking about the Kundalini energy over here, where I'm getting that everything has panned out in such a precise manner in your life at this point for you to really see what um, has become of you, is what I'm getting. And the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse over here, Torso, Capricorn. I am picking up that you have certain psychic abilities that you're not very well aware of. You might have just understood the concepts of spirituality. You might have just, you might be a spiritual baby, and it doesn't have to be the truth, but there's somewhere where your life is giving you, or the universe is giving you. It's like, I spoke about Akashic records. So they're telling me that your soul planned in this lifetime to give you an opportunity to once again, is what I'm hearing, rise above the chaos of your life, and give you a greater opportunity to live your life with fullness. And that's where we come into this chapter that they brought me to, the doctrine of the tattvas. Tattvas basically is translated as principles. Tattvas is again a Hindi word, and it translates as principles or elements of life in English. and they talk about practices. And since this book is about yoga, that doesn't have to mean that you are a person that likes to or enjoys doing yoga or something. um, but I'm getting pranic yoga. Pranic means the body. And something about this is telling me that at this point, stillness, not a lot of fast paced movement, is good for you at this point. I think that what needs to be revealed to you is how to cope up with this and what this energy is wanting you to manifest in your life. We have the number 4 over here, which talks about the emperor energy. So they're talking about something about having met your twin flame, and you have manifested or you had a soul contract with this person, whoever this person is. See, I can go very vague and I can talk about n number of scenarios where you might or might not have met a twin flame. You don't know about these things, but I'm just going to focus on what I am getting, and try to find your own messages throughout the reading, right? So I'm picking up that having met a twin flame, this was a manifestation where you kind of prayed for something, or your soul knew that this point you would reach in your life and you would ask for some sort of elevation. Your wish was granted, not because, you know how funny it is, because you would think that that is something that your physical self, like, the human body and your brain was wanting, but actually it was like your consciousness or your soul actually knew that this is the right time, and that's when it got you into that place. See, like how we as teenagers evolve, and then we reach a point in our lives where we're like, okay, we want to settle down. Everybody has their own timing. Certain people don't settle down till they're late of what is, known as, according to society, which is known as their late, I don't know what it is, 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever it is, right? Of a few people like 18, 17, those kinds of ages, or like 19, 20 seem as early, or just seen as like, oh, this person like probably found their soulmate or something like that. Stereotypes serving over here, societal norms, where I am talking about how you reached a maturity point in your life where you knew that you wanted to shift, you wanted to change, and it's this energetic upsurge that you're experiencing is like a boiling point where it will break out for you. See, Kundalini awakening takes about 30 to 40 years. It's not a small thing. But I think that more we are getting acquainted with this topic, especially when it comes to like breath work, it takes a couple of years, like decades perhaps, to activate the Kundalini energy within you. But it is often said that it is rather easily activated when it is met with a twin flame or somebody that is really like your mirror soul. So if you ask me, do I believe in twin flames? Yes, I do, but I don't think that my human brain as a person can completely comprehend the aspect of it. I think that there is a possibility to have a mirror soul of yours. I don't completely understand how people can say that a soul splits itself into two parts, but I also do understand that how we call ourselves as little, parts of godly consciousness. We all are mirrors of each other in some shape or form. I can get myself to a level to believe that twin flames do agree, right? If we are small reflections of godly consciousness, then I can most definitely understand the existence of twin flames. So we do talk about, the 144,000 twin souls, or the chosen ones that we talk about. And this reading can come as an assurance, or just a confirmation that you are one of those people who are serving this planet's consciousness. It's like doing the dirty work. And um, I think that a lot of people are not okay with the brutal confrontation that I bring to the table with my reading, because a lot of people would like to have, they would just like to hear things that are easy, and they would just like tarot readings to be a method of entertainment. But I think that what I am channeling over here is more of delivering or doing justice to the title of that reading. Does that make sense? Because you're asking for a secret that really wants to be revealed, and something that I am getting to hear is that you are one of those chosen people. You are those people who are meant to elevate and manifest a very, very um, greater, fulfilled version of yourself. So when I say like manifest a great version of you, it doesn't mean somebody who is roaming around with a fat bank balance or something like that. I know that our understanding of what's the word, success can really vary, but over here I feel like this is where life is giving you a greater opportunity to fulfill yourself, whether it is by encountering a twin flame, because twin flame, I call it the crash course to healing, because having a twin flame around, you really can't ignore the things that are, dysfunctional within you. This really brings me to that quote which says, the only thing that I had to realize is that the only toxic relationship I had was with myself, and every other person was just a reflection of it. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm seeing over here. Your twin flame is your biggest mirror, right? The strongest mirror you would ever come across. And that kind of love really supersedes anything else in your life, anything else that is even like it defies your bloodline hierarchy as well. Does that make sense? So we have the card danger, warning, and guidance. This is quite interesting. I can't place my finger on why is this here. So they're relating this with your awakening, and you might be experiencing a lot of negative emotions. Kundalini awakening doesn't mean like you would be on a high in life. In fact, you might be really scared at this point in your life, like what the fuck is happening. Does that make sense? So I think that you are a person who has always been in the shadow, but has known that they're meant to be in the spotlight in some shape or form. And you really struggle till date in your life, whatever age you are. I don't know what's your age, but I am picking up you've always struggled with being in the spotlight because of your childhood, and there has been a great amount of narcissistic abuse that you've experienced in your life. We have the card mending in reverse. 52 reduces to 7. I was picking up strongly on 7. We have between walls in reverse, and then we have chaos and conflict. I told you, this is about rising above what is in your life and manifesting better. See, the topic that spirit brought me on to with the tattvas or principles of life, one of the spiritual principles of life is that how we actually manifest. So this is more based off a Hindu tradition, okay? And it says that we have 3 types of worlds, okay? The world without forms, the world of pure forms, and the material world. And somewhere along the lines, to understand the true method of manifestation would be to eradicate how your mind limits you and the way you see yourself. And that's why inner work is your key. I think that you are trying to escape the work with the between worlds card and reverse. You want to escape the work. You don't want to do that. You don't want to mend it. See, we have the higher power in reverse. I just spoke of it, right? You want to escape that work. You don't want to put in the work. I understand how difficult it can be, but I think that you somewhere have really, really attached yourself to your pain and your experience, and that is the same story that you keep telling yourself. Again, I am not trying to belittle your struggles in life, but I think that this is somewhere where a little bit of fact, and I'm talking about a fact, spirit is telling me it's a fact, not a feeling, that you ruminate way too much in your past. I get it that you need to process feelings. The way we process feelings is through our body, and that's where we come back to that disassociation that you have with your body. I believe that right now you might be having several awakenings, or there's just a part of you where you are going to go through a lot of childhood healing. And this again circles in with every piece of information that has been given to you through this reading, that you are one of the chosen people, and that comes with, great responsibility comes great power comes with great responsibility. So having to understand that uh, your life wants to take you forward to have it's like all these things that are happening to you are generally happening so that you have a you're being offered a greater opportunity to live life to the fullest, and that means having great fulfillment. That really doesn't mean that you would be sitting on a yacht and you would be eating greasy meat that is unhealthy for your heart, and you would be eating like fat fries dipped in oil. It just does not mean that, or you will be binge watching naked girls dancing in front of you. That is not what I see over here. I see somebody who, with age, I see you evolving into a very uh, aware and full of consciousness where you make really good choices for yourself. This doesn't have to be that you become like a monk person, okay? You become like a monk, but I see somewhere where your life wants to let you know that you are that person. If you have always had that inclination to go towards enlightenment, or as we call it in Hindi, we call it mukti. So it's like you want that release from your physical life's misery, right? You don't want to be that person, and that feeling is more than just a gut feeling. It is your life's purpose. So I think all in all, if there were a few things that resonated over here about awakenings and things like that, I think you are on a path to have that great awakening in your life where you're going to really unleash yourself from a lot of these things that have happened. And I see you also having a partner in crime in this journey, even though I think that you, by the time you might meet that person, you would be such a fully formed human being. Like, I think because you would have left behind your childhood worries, and I see you as a person really really embodying that, and having a partner in crime without having expectations or true sense of attachment that makes you suffer. See, humans have the need for attachment and deep connectivity. I see you building a connection with someone, but I don't see you building dependency with someone, which is again a great opportunity being offered to you by the universe to fulfill yourself, right? Because they're not saying that, hey, you got to do this alone and your only path is in life to attain enlightenment. It is like they're giving you the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? So I am going to conclude this reading by pulling out a few more cards for you. Um, Sexuality. This is about, how you present yourself in pride. I think I would leave you with the advice that victim consciousness, again, stop ruminating. You want to process your feelings, write it down, cry it out, or have a healthier relationship with emotions because you're feeling so much. But don't ruminate in your head. Rumination is not equivalent to processing your feelings, right? You are not what has happened to you. Pile number one, you're way greater than that. Okay, so pile number one, this was your reading. I'm going to leave it here. I really do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. Information for personal readings is given down below, and I'm going to see you guys in another one. Bye bye. Hello, pile number two. If you chose the Phosphosiderite along with the image of the hand with multiple elements around. There's a key, there's a lantern, there's the sun, there's a crystal-like star. I don't really denote that as star, but it is in the shape of the star. There's a crown, and then there's a fish in the palm with crosses and whatnot around wings. So, when I was tapping into energy, I felt this strong energy of sacral chakra. I saw orange color, which is a lot about. I don't know if you have a stereotype or some sort of conditioning when it comes to sexuality and how you want to dress up and how you want to be, who you are as a person. I sense a lot of strong energy within you of having inclination towards perhaps witchcraft, or and that could also be, this is quite controversial, that you are, Christian or something like that. I don't know. I would refrain from commenting on religious beliefs, most definitely, because I don't think I want to hurt somebody's sentiments considering that. Um, but whatever religion you are from, and there is, um, there's this portal that is opening up for you. That's what I'm hearing. There's a pathway opening up for you, and you've recently started feeling that. Now, that could be, it has been a recent, could be 7 years for you. I'm picking up 7 years, 7 months. It could be pretty recent, and you could also be around the age of 18, 19, 20, could be young. I, for today's reading, I'm using the book, The Yoga of Power. This is about Tantric Shakti. This is where Spirit has brought me to the part of awakening of the serpent power over here. So this basically tells me about the fact where there are different, what do we call, breathing exercises that mainly help us during the meditative states, right? Pranic healing is something that, so this book is based off a lot of Hindu practices. It is inclusive of other things as well, but where we're talking about pranic healing, it is about understanding that the body has healing abilities in itself. The body can heal itself. The body knows what to do for itself, okay? So first we feel the heat or the calling inside, because our soul is really like, hey, we gotta go there, we gotta go, and we gotta do what we gotta do, right? And a serpent is often indicated as somewhere where you can understand. For me, now this might not be textbook language or what is served on Wikipedia or Google, but for me, serpent really represents some sort of transformation, some sort of elevation. I would rather say it is very close to the phoenix energy for me. Um, Even though phoenix represents, rising and falling, burning in the ashes and rising from the ashes. So I'm seeing that over here, that there's somewhere where uh, okay, I'll tell you. So this is the hand, right? So we're using the first clue that is given on the hand, that is of the key, where you're getting the inclination. I see that the secret that is being revealed to you is the inclination. Hey, there's something in you. There's something in you. You have a calling right now. You have a calling towards something. That's what I'm picking up. That is the part of the awakening that I am picking up over here with you. You're awakening to something. There's a key. There's somewhere where you're getting a clue towards something, right? It's a calling over here, right? So they're saying the word cherished, something that is duly enjoyed, and um, it's like you feel blessed to think of it or to have that natural talent within you. That's what I'm picking up over here. I pull out a card for the key. What is the key, Spirit? What is the key? I told you, you have a natural talent for it. We have the Page of Wands energy over here. You have like a key for something. It burns. It's just like this is something that makes you feel powerful. See, they're showing me this word. It's a natural state and are seen. That they're telling me that there is something where you feel like you're the best. The optimization of it. You feel like you're the best over here. They're bringing me to the line which says isolation is considered as an optimal condition in the preliminary phases, as well as it is believed to sharpen the senses in spiritual discernment and to foster inner peace. I don't know if you're going through very intensive cycle of purging as of now. I don't know if you're going through somewhere where you feel like the universe is separating you. You're not really having that cohesive support that you really need in your life as of now. But I think what they're telling me is that this is the part to figure out the key. This is the part where you figure out what is really, really vital for you. That's what they're telling me. This is the key. The first finger. The second finger is the lantern, which is represented by this card: self-confidence, leader, power. This again brings me back to some sort of prejudice that you have towards whatever profession or who you want to be. It still hinders your ability to think that you are worth it or you would be worth it. It's more about taking a deeper dive inside yourself to understand, like, hey, you have the answer, but then again, like, see, Six of Pentacles in reverse, this says a material success. So you think that you won't be good enough at this, and that is what stops you. I don't think this is exactly a secret, but it's more like for a few of you, this might be a secret why things are working out for you when you're doing something you love. You might be a small business owner. You might be a tarot reader yourself. You might be a witch. You might just be a professor, but there's something very creative. I don't see you being involved much in the okay, there's capitalism everywhere in life at this point. You kind of have to indulge in it. But I see you as somewhere where your soul wants to tell you. Because, I am feeling the emphasis on my sacral, but rather the womb area. And this is considered where the fertility or the birth, happens, the womb area. So in the womb area, you can also carry trauma, which is where they're bringing me to the palm, where we have the fish. So I feel like this fish is kind of trapped, where this fish, wants to float around. It doesn't have that space, or it wants to swim. My bad. It doesn't have that space. That's what I'm picking up. Somewhere spirit is telling me that the fish is too big, for that pond. You know how they say, like, they need to be in the oceans and everything, like how we put we have commercialized animals as part of zoos and everything, and they die in that sphere. It's almost like you have outgrown what you have been doing, and now you know that there's an upsurge or there's a current within you. Yeah, the reference of fish had to had some significance, because everything is orchestrated in a very precise manner in the universe. You having to hear this through me, stumbling upon this reading, whether you found the thumbnail to be attractive, whether you were genuinely intrigued by what I had to say, whether you just bored, whatever it is, you stumbled upon this reading and you're just like, okay, I'll hear it out. It could be a number of things that called you to a reading or whatever you have heard. It's something like this moment has amounted to something. This has led up to something, right? So this is what they're telling me. You've outgrown whatever you used to feed to yourself when it came to who you are and what you want to be. It's like it's not existing anymore, which brings us to the third finger, which is the middle finger over here, which is the sun in the picture, right? So the sun is really representative of the fact of enlightenment. When you will go through that, I feel like first you will go through the phase of you will go through the 5 stages of grief. So you will really, really, feel aggressive. And I feel like when you will come to the part of after being aggressive, where you will allow yourself to really express your emotions in a righteous manner. And by righteous, I don't mean that you have to be kind all the time, or you can't be frustrated, angry. It means that you are allowed to express pain and hurt in whatsoever way you feel like doing that. And that is also a part of being authentic. Does that make sense? Like, where the full circle is, showing you now. We started off by feeling like we're not allowed to be who we want to be, whether it comes to, norms that humans have made, whether we're born in this race or that race, we can't be like that. um we're just trying to, be somebody we're not because we were born in a specific place, and how are just giving me borders, separate hearts of people. So somebody might have still be attached to, somebody might be still attached to, their past life. Something is like a residual, or they're carrying a very strong memory in their soul of who they used to be in a past life, and in this lifetime they're born in a completely different scenario where they feel like they can't be that person. Even though sometimes we can't really attach ourselves to who we used to be in a past life, because that is it, that will literally lead you to suffering. But when it means that this is who you are on a soul archetype, you can't defy it by color of your skin or the way you speak or what accent you have. Knowledge, when it is meant to be delivered, or clues or information when it's meant to be delivered to you in whichever dimension or timeline. See, you can, if you are a person who doesn't believe in reincarnation, I don't think I can serve you with this reading. But if you do believe in reincarnation, I would call it as like different timeline. Just the way you see past, present tense, we can see past lives, future lives, and the present life as, different timelines. So what I am saying is, like, your past timeline was carrying this into the present timeline, and what you will experience in the future, relatively this moment, will become past, right? So we're just literally talking about timelines that we jump ships from. If you are astro traveling at this point, and I feel like you have a good amount of knowledge about the universal, flows and hacks and whatnot, like how our soul travels when we sleep as well. So you going into the astral realm, uh have you had dreams of people, or people have told you that, we've had dreams of you? Do you think that that is a coincidence? Do you think that you're not that connected to other people, or you're not doing anything? Because I think that if somebody tells you that you came in that dream, it was never not purposely done. I think that you traveled there. Or if somebody came in my dream, I would believe that they have traveled to me, unless it's a subconscious, what we call episode over there. That is very different. And I think it takes a good amount of discernment and understanding of the spiritual world to understand what was a projection from your subconscious sphere and what is actually happening in the astral realm that you actually remember with another person. So I think that you might be a medium yourself. You have very strong psychic abilities, but it goes beyond just. I feel like these are really small tools for you. You really travel in the astral realm, and right now you're getting the first finger information. The key. Right now you're getting the key. You're getting the answers to it. The lantern would represent you finding that power within yourself, and then we reach the sun, where it is illumination to yourself, where sun is like the spotlight is on, we can't ignore what has been in front of us. I think at this point it would be good for you, I think, to really purify and starve the flesh. So I'm not asking you to fast, but if that is something that you would like to do that is good for you, I think that that would help you starve the flesh right now, so that your spirit can become stronger, right? So that your soul can really lead you. See, when the body is, a little bit like starved, and the ego is starved. So ego starving is something that I use personally during moments of healing. So see, if I know that there's something wrong with what I am doing, whether it's a coping mechanism or it's a bad habit, and I am mentally acknowledging that first of all. Secondly, I would starve my ego when it tells me, you need to do this, you need to do this. I think that is the ego starvation process for me, and maybe this would help you, is to let that thought just be where it is. If it makes you cry, if it makes you, you know, crawl back into bed, if it makes you antisocial. I feel like there's a lot of instances over here where I am picking up on you having to be isolated at this moment. I think that a shame of not being able to express yourself is something that we are learning. So they're giving me some sort of example about the way I am speaking. Okay. I record readings almost every second day, and nobody can be that oblivious to a fact that I have my own real life, experiences, and I'm not always in a jovial mood to entertain other people. But that doesn't mean that the work I do doesn't bring me happiness. So understanding the fact that I like when I think about these things, yeah, like being vulnerable also makes me a little bit icky. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna put a brave face on and fake it, because I'm here every other day. Authenticity is also in a part where my audience understands that, hey, the other person is also a human, right? So not having that embarrassment or feeling like, oh shit, you know what, my friends are gonna judge me or people are gonna judge me. um Starving your ego would also include in this sense where you don't care about what other people really think of you, and I know that is a very difficult one to crack. Now you might be struggling with people pleasing tendencies as well, which brings me to the last finger over here, which is this star. This is where we shine, right? We stand out. We're not trying to seek attention or deflect attention. What is for us comes to us, and what is not for us goes away, right? So I think I'm gonna pull out a few conclusive cards, so that you can go. And I feel like what I would really sum it up, pile number two. I don't really need a card for this. Is that, with the angel wings around your picture, it's really like spirit telling you, like, hey, we have got your back throughout this process. I know it's painful, it's really really hurting you. It's like somebody is ripping off this, bare skin right off you. And this is what is happening. I don't think that what is hurting you is so much as the process of uh, calming yourself and unpeeling yourself. I think what is really hurting you is what goes on in your head, like how will people perceive me, or what they're gonna think of me, or am I gonna get abandoned? Because the end, the core belief, why you think that you're being judged or you don't want to be judged, is that if people realize what I am and they don't like it, I would be left alone, be it my family, friends, or whoever it is, right? So I really hope that that is a good uh, cliffhanger. I feel like that is a good question to leave you at. We have the Ace of Wands in reverse. It's such a beautiful card. It's being in reverse. Let the energy come to you. Let yourself purge. The secret is that you are who you are at the end of the day, and you won't be able to defy that for a really long time. This will come to you, and meet the resistance. Meet the resistance by acknowledging your judgment. Where are you judging yourself, and why aren't you allowing yourself to be who you want to be? Because you're already that. You're only defying it for what? How long can you defy that? Does that make sense? So, pile number one, this was your reading. I'm going to leave it here. I really do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do the like button, subscribe for more, hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. Information for personal readings is given down below, and I'm going to see you guys in another one. Bye bye. Hello, pile number three. If you chose the rose quartz, this is going to be your reading. I am picking up on the energy of you going through an awakening right now. There could be some sort of like a starvation. I am picking up that you were mixing up things, um, in the sense of I'm feeling a lot of ringing in my ears. There was a lot of conditioning, and by conditioning I don't mean just learned behavior or the way you've been brought up and things like that, but your experience, how it's shaped you to develop this what we call the egoic concreteness, that doesn't let us penetrate inside our soul or our access our consciousness, and suffering is the price that we pay for consciousness. Does that make sense? So you had to suffer, you had to feel pain. Now I feel like whenever I say that, it can lead you to disappointment because you're like, oh my god, but don't you think that a natural tone of a human being from childhood has been to be a um, sadistic characteristic or a personality? Sadistic means to have the play of pain and pleasure both, even in instances where, okay, I would give you an example of a child. When a child is born, the child first of all cries. Crying is not a happy emotion. And then when the mother breastfeeds the child, that's when the child realizes or experiences the bliss. So how is there uh, I can understand where you can call somebody that is creating more sadistic experiences for themselves in life, but I think if you're more realistic, or if you're, like a little bit like me, um, I am not completely pessimistic, but I am not completely optimistic as well. But I think that the more that I practice soulfulness, I think that there is just my faith that enables me to believe in the optimism of life. Otherwise, as a human or as a 3D person or just mankind, I think pessimism comes very easy to us. So, how is the living essence of a human being not sadistic for any of us? How do we experience pleasure if we have not experienced pain? How do we even grant ourselves the allowance to experience pleasure if we have not experienced pain? Does that make sense? Because human beings appreciate only certain things that they have worked too hard for. Or this gives me a little bit of, banter, if you will. Um, if a person, if a man, let's say a man, men, and this is a fact, men usually are manipulated by women that torment them, because women know how to keep them on their pinky finger. Now that is not a manipulation tactic, I'm sharing you, but also if you tend to climb towards that, you best believe I will remind you of karma. But there is nothing wrong in knowing about human psychology, because the male gender is more seduced or manipulated with pain and pleasure. And I'm not talking about the bedroom, because seduction can be a part of it. But till the time you are the most seductive person to him, yes, he will chase you. The moment he finds somebody else that he finds more appealing, because gradually over time humans tend to um, become immune to money and attraction. That's why longevity in relationships is often, oh my god, like how have you lasted? Or you look at your grandparents and you're like, how have you lasted for 53 years, or 40 years, or whatever it is, a number of anniversaries, like years of marriage, right? Because that is based off a certain level of sacrifices, a genuine connection, and of course communication, right? So somebody else's marriage, or their marriage in your head, or whoever's marriage is coming in your head, might not be your type. But I'm getting something about meeting a lot of people, or how In fact, this is not even about relationships. Perhaps it's just about finding yourself through the reflection of relationships, where certain things are showing you. So now this could be also the relationship that you have shared with your parents. Now that could also count as whatever n number of what is your age. Maybe you're 30. You know, you've shared a relationship with your parents for 30 years of your life, and that is probably the longest relationship you've had. There's always this feeling like, I feel like you have an abandonment wound where you don't like to get too close to your parents. So this creates a helplessness within you when you're faced with challenges outside of your house. I'm going to flip this card. We have patience, purity, and self-awareness, right? You know about the lotus philosophy? I actually have it tatted on my hand. This is the philosophy of a lotus, because it says that a lotus doesn't let the mud, basically metaphorically representing the negativity, get to it, and it still blossoms, right? So this is about maybe that your all years of your childhood have been difficult on you, and you have a very strong third eye. So you have a lot of downloads coming in, and you are naturally a person that is aloof in life. I believe that you have witnessed the heaviness, the darkness of the life in your early ages. So you could be shamanic. Now, that is not to say that you are, but if you know, that is just an example, or a keyword over here that works for you. You could also relate with yourself as a healer, a light worker, whatever words there are, right? It is just that I see every soul that rejuvenates within itself. I think you can use n number of vocabularies for it, but the baseline bottom line really comes down to the fact that every person has the ability to heal themselves. Pranic healing, but also soulful healing as well. Pranic means the body, or just the body, the understanding or awareness that the body can heal itself. So you are carrying certain I'm getting you are carrying certain messages. Now what that translates as or means is that your body is still carrying that trauma, which gives you the alarm to your brain, or gives you the message or the notification, in layman terms, that something is going to hurt us. Now that is the work of your ego throughout. Like, this is where I started off, right? Throughout your lifetime, it is not just conditioning, is not just what you've been taught and learned, but it's also how you have registered certain things in your life. You have been through things where you have had your own sadistic experiences in life, the duality of life, right? Dark and light. You have experienced where doing this, it hurts, don't do that. So hey, if I try to touch the fire right now, my body is giving me the message, this will hurt you, don't do that, right? So maybe you have been close to people, and I'm picking up this about intimacy, perhaps, right? So you have been close to people, and people have hurt you, and this could come down to your caretakers, people that were your first societal exposure, right? First exposure, your family. So I feel like maybe you've had difficulty getting along with them. You've not been, I'm getting scapegoated, or like the black sheep. You're very different from your family. I think that they don't like that you're so aloof. They don't like that you're so apart and you're like a trailblazer, but in the most offensive manner to them, is what I'm hearing. You are somebody that they can't really control, and that gets them really irritated. Or perhaps I would speak in spiritual terms, the spirits behind them get irritated. So, considering that you are that one person that is, very different in your own family lineage, I think that this comes with its own set of challenges, which make you feel helpless, like you can't count on other people. And this message is coming for those people who feel like, black sheeps in your own family. You feel like you can't count on them. Again, I know this might not be your usual advice that you might get, but it's okay to get your work done wherever you can. See, you can't deny the fact that you were born in this household or this family, and they're not serving any purpose to your ascension. They are. To really amount that amount of what you call opposition, and you standing alone, is such a big thing. I just saw 1010, which is something that needs to be revealed to you. Is like, you are so much more powerful than you are giving yourself credit for. We have the new life in reverse. You want to come out of this. You want to come out of this, right? You need to start believing in yourself. One man, one woman army, mending. Mending that relationship with your inner child is something you've always been on. These were in pile number one, and these were opposite. So I don't know if you felt called towards that. There could be an inclination. We have number three and 52, which is 7. See, the birds are really chirping, whichever birds these are. I really don't know, but I always see this as a message from your ancestors and the universe trying to tell you, because I feel like you have a very strong spiritual team. See, all three piles have different energies, and this is not something that I've said before. I don't know who is this person who's chosen pile number three, but they are really skeptical right now. One of you out there, a couple of you out there, are very skeptical of whatever any tarot reader tries to tell you or tries to help you through, and you're just like, nah, nah, I'm just too concrete. You have yes, I believe you have lost your innocence. To a degree, can I offer you an opinion? I think too much of innocence is also not good, or I would rather use the word naivety. I think it's important to um, not lose your authenticity, but a part of life is also understanding that it is okay if your life has changed you or you have lost your naivety. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think you will survive the next level if you would have been that um, pleased that easily. Does that make sense? So I am not saying that it should change you or it should completely make you into hard rock a personality that just doesn't, want to get along with anyone. The Seven of Wands in reverse. Something is coming over here where I want you to accept your journey, the duality of life. You had to learn this. Pile number three. You are such a concrete. Ooh, I am. If I met you in person, I think I would butt heads with you. Um, because I think that you are such a stubborn person that I am feeling that energy, that almost feel like I am not reading a reading to you. I'm actually trying to change your perspective. That is what I'm feeling over here. And your guides are like, yes, this person is very strong willed, and that's the reason why they chose you for this job. You might have a lot of Mars, Aries energy, Martian energy in your charts. You have a lot of aggression, you have a lot of willpower, you have a lot of creativity, but most of all, I think you really stand by your own morals. Your life has really tested you in certain moments where you have made a lot of mistakes, which is why it makes you very stubborn. But I know that you are somebody that is humble, nevertheless. But I think that they're telling me that you really challenge people around you. You're not the only one who challenges us. You challenge people around you. So you have really, really aided the ascension of your family members, your parents, and everyone. You are the person who has changed a lot of things for people around you. Um, Seeing the lion over here and the sheep, I see there's the duality again. There's so much duality and energy, because you're still that person who is innocent and like soft and fragile, but you have this outer exterior to protect yourself. And somewhere I feel like spirit is encouraging me to tell you that it is okay to have that part within you, but it's not okay to enforce it to self-sabotage further moving on, right? Because I think it's not just about relationships. It could be applied wherever it is, but it is becoming self-sabotaging in the manner where you are not availing the opportunities that want to come out there. So, for example, if you're going out for a career opportunity which requires for you to go more into your feminine energy, and going into your feminine energy right now might be painful because you have painful memories, that is the way to go through it. You have to go through it to get through it. You can't avoid it, because you know you will lose out on your potential. So, this secret that probably wants to make itself known is something that you are aware of, or it's just another tip that I feel that would help you at this point is to purify yourself. Whatever you're carrying that has made you so hard shelled right now, it is it is not helping you find your true potential, because that is something you would find in your feminine reservoir. Does that make sense? You have to go through that. So I am using the book called the Yoga of Power, and Spirit has brought me to this page where they talk about non-duality. This is where they wanted me to explain to you. I see like the background noise is completely coming in. It's almost like something, I really believe in spiritual forces, and I almost feel like something doesn't want you to understand this concept that has been manifesting in your life. One secret that is very based off common knowledge, but sometimes we don't want to accept that this is what it is. I feel like what is important for you, pile number three, is to understand the very basic concept of duality in life. What you are carrying inside is manifesting outside. See, there are certain things, like I'll give you an example of money. I think you're going through money issues because I see like spirit starving you, but it's not purposely done. Like, let's make that clear. You might have been well supported for a phase in your life, and now suddenly you're facing these issues, is because that wound is manifesting itself right now. And you want to elevate, and so spirit, you must have asked spirit like, hey, I want to maximize my income, I want to grow it, or whatever I'm making, disposable income. And you asked for that upgrade, and now spirit has brought you down to a level. So spirit is really like helping you through this phase where they have brought you down to the core wound of it. They don't want you to struggle with that right now. Or it's almost like they don't want you to focus on anything else. Yeah, I was just like, why would I say that? They don't want you to focus on anything else but the wound that is making itself known. So I think that they have taken away your distractions. Is also what I'm thinking. I don't know why I'm laughing, because I've been through this process a lot of times. I think if maybe you cope up with laughter uh, in terms of when it becomes difficult for you. And that's exactly, I feel like it could be where you have you seen that Batman movie where the Joker is like, he becomes immune to pain, so every time it hurts, he starts laughing because his father used to be abusive, so that's how he learned to cope up with pain, right? um just a part of nihilism of life. But I see this, being as you probably try to ignore it, or you cope up with humor, or you're becoming stronger to not have distractions around that pain. So right now the intensity of the pain is feeling heavy because they've taken away other facets. So maybe if you're in a relationship that's going well, or maybe you have no relationship and you're feeling okay being by single, it's like somewhere there's peace, or something has been taken away for you to focus on that. So maybe that could be the opposite, that you just broke up, so you have to focus on that, right? It could be a number of things, right? Love is the biggest escape that we use in our lives to not focus on ourselves, right? So I see that over here, that this is a notion of dharma, Hindu notion of dharma. Dharma in this context refers to the nature of given being, who you are. That's it. Dharma. What you're supposed to do. It's also dharma. It characterizes on a samsaric plane, and it makes it different from other beings. One thing about humans is so special, not just that they can voice out, they can speak, but they are the only humans, or the species that can actually manifest what they really want in life by just visualization. So they're actually very smart, right? And this also comes in with karma. They were like waiting for karma. It's like karma is very important in your reading. Karma causes all beings to reap the consequences of their actions, whether they were direct or immediate. So in totality over here, what we are reading about is purely about manifestation, and why you are manifesting this particular situation in your life, that you're not liking it, or there is a situation that keeps manifesting it, right? So the secret that wants to make itself known is that you have a wound that needs to clear out, so that you can move forward and handle the blessing that wants to come for you, because you will self-sabotage. And right now, what spirit wants you to do is to go back to where you ignored it. See, it cannot be ignored, the starting point given by a conditioned being. So whatever you have conditioned yourself to as a belief for yourself, that is not letting you release yourself from something that anchors you, to relinquish that hold on you, you have to go in the wound and find the light. You face a lot of warfare. I would prefer to stop and just sit over here and let your reading be finished some other time. But I feel like I'm getting a very strong channeling right now, which I don't want to interrupt the flow of. And I really feel like you go through a lot of warfare, because I told you that there's a lot of opposition against you, and then you're that one person who's trying to heal this lineage. So you might as well be a generational pattern breaker. See, things open up when and how you play out in your life, or how your mindset lets it play out. So I could have had a reaction again of the noise in the background to stop the reading, get irritated, because trust me, I'm very capable of that. But my better self, my better judgment told me that no, finish it off, because I also have to wind up this reading right now, and I don't more importantly, I don't want to interrupt the flow of this. Channeling is relatively a little bit difficult if you keep getting interrupted. It changes the what do you call, the flow of or the navigation of the message that spirit wants to deliver. So coming back to what it was, I feel like you are a person who gets downloads, and when you do, try to write it down. um, and I feel like answering a question, if you see angel numbers pretty often, try to revert back to the thought that you had in your mind, that your ancestors are trying to point out that this is the truth. This is not far away from the truth. This is something quite important. Okay? So there's quite a lot for you, pile number three. There's not just one secret, but it's about for you to understand that what is manifesting in your life is somewhere it's coming from the wound. So if there's a karmic pattern that keeps playing out in your life, please do trust me that this is not there to hurt you or criticize you or make you feel worse about yourself, or that you're not doing well enough. This is just honestly the power and um, your karma playing out. So I don't see as karma just as the consequences of your actions, but I also see as somewhere where, hey, we do good things as well, right? So they come back in blessings. So karma over here would be to or dharma, I would rather say, to work on the things that you're supposed to work to move towards your north node, your life purpose, right? And this is a part of your life purpose. Don't think that just because you're doing this you're doing this wound work and shadow work, you're not moving towards your north. You are moving towards your north node. By doing this, these are the stepping stones of a ladder. So if your focus is upon attaining a specific goal, understand that you're on the ladder right now. Don't push yourself too much. Understand this about your life, that you are, and this is your journey will never be summed up at a destination where you're just like, I reached here. No, your life is all about the destination. Soul elevation, soul elasticity, whether you like that or not. You chose that. Okay, so we have the card Four of Wands in reverse. Perfect work. See, I'm telling you, don't amount your level of maturity or stance, or what do you call, accomplishments at a specific point in your life. It is ever growing, and it will keep happening at different stages. That is probably the crux of your reading message, what needs to be revealed to you, that this life is literally a journey. Okay, so pile number three, I am going to conclude your reading here. I do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. Information for personal readings is given down below, and I'm going to see you guys in another one. Bye.